I'm Katina Wheeler, CEO of Discover Black Savannah.
And I'm Edward Gresham, Board Chair of Discover Black Savannah.
Discover Black Savannah is the destination marketplace for Black businesses in Savannah and the surrounding area.
What we look to do is expand what we call the tourism district in Savannah. We want to move it outside of downtown and the city market area and attract people to other areas in Savannah marked by the African American communities.
Historically, the tourism district has been relegated to city market, but we all know that Black tourism is spread throughout the city of Savannah.
Places like Pinpoint with Brother Hanif.
The significance of Pinpoint is that the Pinpoint community is probably one of the last remaining Gullah Geechee communities on the southeast coast that haven't been commercialized. And it's deeply enrooted in not just African American history, but the U.S. history, period.
Visitors come here for cultural experiences.
Places like Carver Village with Reverend Chester Ellis.
Carver Village was the first and only subdivision in the United States built for African Americans coming out of World War II for affordable housing. The house cost $4,500. They paid $100 down and $29.45 a month until they paid off the mortgage. All right, they had lots that were 60 feet wide by 100 feet deep, and that's what Carver Village. There were 611 homes built. Of that 611, 593 still exist today. All right. And in Carver Village, the connection to Springfield Terrace School, Pearl Smith Elementary School, it was built. That was land that the city gave the school board in 1926 to build a school for African American education. And so that's why the school is important. The streets in Carver Village were named after the aldermans, and the playground, the large playground in the back, Kennedy Park, was named after the mayor who was mayor at that time. There was one alderman who did not want his name in a Negro subdivision, so it started out as Sullivan Street, but then they had to take Sullivan off, okay, to meet his demand. And so that's how the streets became named. That's how the subdivision became what it was. And there is an article that appears in the Chicago Tribune in 1948, which we have copies of, that highlighted the first colored, as they could say, Negro during that time, subdivision in the United States. So that's the history of Carver Village.
Well, want to give a little background about the Weeping Time. It was an event that took place here in Savannah on March 2nd and 3rd, 1859. Pierce Meese Butler was a enslaved owner, and he had a plantation down in Darien, Georgia, on what they call Butler Island, and he had some gambling debts. And so in order to resolve those debts, he had to sell his enslaved persons, and so 436 were brought to Savannah like 4 days before the actual sale so that they could be examined. They were brought to a racetrack, which is is called Ten Brook Racetrack right off Augusta Avenue, which is now where Brock Elementary School sits, and Bradley Plywood. And so those enslaved persons were held in horse stables for 3 or 4 days to be examined and looked at to see if they were suitable for sale. And out of those 436 persons who were brought, 30 of them were babies. One of them as young as 3 weeks old. Little girl, they called her Valentine because she was born on Valentine's Day. And so again, during that time, those 4 days they got to be examined. And then on the day of the sale, it began to rain torrentially. It rained the entire 2 days of the sale. And when the last enslaved person was sold, then the sun came out. So it was called the weeping time because it was as if heaven and God was weeping because of the atrocity that was happening to his people and these families.
Come discover Black Savannah with me.
Come discover Black Savannah.
Discover Black Savannah with me.
So why don't you come discover Black Savannah with us?